Peace and greetings, everyone. Peace and divine greetings. For those of you who are joining me, seeing this as the recording, it shall soon become. Thank you so much for joining me. I am not really going to give it too much time to allow people to see that I've gone live because I didn't even tell anyone that I'm going live. I decided to keep it a secret because we have the Scorpio new moon, and Scorpio is about things being private. Now, I did go live on Facebook a couple of hours ago, and I shared some information. The information that I shared is going to be a bit different because, you know, there's so much when it comes to astrology and these signs and the things that are going on that, you know, a lot of different stuff starts to come up. I mean, if we were really to give all the information of this Scorpio new moon and the Mercury retrograde, we would never stop talking. So, you know, I just decided to do another live on my YouTube platform. Now, I do want to let my YouTube followers know I have not been posting on YouTube because I'm dealing with a bit of difficulties, Mercury retrograde, with uploading videos. I have so much content to upload, but it's taking me like 4 days just to post a video. So I'm not a technical person too much. I'm not that tech savvy. I know a little bit of stuff, but I just haven't been wanting to deal with the headache of it all. So I'm thinking about just doing my lives and then eventually, you know, getting back into the uploading and things like that. Nevertheless, I'm not going to make you guys wait. But what I do want to share with you guys is that this particular new moon information that I'm going to be giving is going to be more on a general basis. If you want to know how the new moon is going to affect you, as well as Mercury retrograde is going to affect you, you're going to want to look at things from a much more personal perspective with getting an actual reading. So if I'm saying things that are not pertaining to you, it's because this is more general. It's going to be like what's just in effect for pretty much everyone on a broader spectrum. So yeah, nevertheless, I'm trying to adjust my camera. I got to figure out my streaming too so I could use my computer. It's like I could only go live on YouTube from my phone, but whatever. I got a decent phone. So you guys, with this Scorpio new moon, I'm definitely keeping my black tourmaline on me and my other black crystal because it's really important for us to protect ourselves from energy, because there are different just strange and interesting energies that can be about with the Scorpio new moon, especially since we have the planet Uranus in opposition to this moon. And give me one moment. Since we have, you know, planet Uranus being in opposition to this moon, it's just making things a little bit more interesting than normal. So nevertheless, let's get right into it. I'm not going to be on too long. Now, the Scorpio new moon is happening tonight at 8:38 p.m. on the Pacific Coast Standard Time. And what I found out when I pulled up the chart is that Gemini is going to be rising. And so for us on the West Coast, I think I said Eastern, but I meant Pacific. I think I said Pacific, but Pacific Coast Standard Time, it's going to be affecting us on the West Coast in our 6th house. So this is going to really help us to tap into bringing forth deeper energy when it comes to the work that we do, and we're thinking about the services that we provide to the world in a much deeper way. You know, if you're a nurse or a doctor or a counselor, it's not going to be enough to just do the status quo. You're going to want to bring forth more things, you know, on a deeper base, from a deeper basis, like some form of spirituality embedded within your practice is going to go a very long and good way for you, as well as your clientele. Let me adjust this because my head is like cut off. And I don't really like that. I don't like my head being cut off. So now the Scorpio new moon, you guys, it's really helping us to tap deeper into ourselves on a psychological basis. We are starting to pay attention to the different things that we have experienced in our lives, traumatic experience that we've dealt with in our lives, and how they may have shaped us psychologically, especially since this particular new moon is making a trine to the North Node in Cancer. You want to walk in the direction of your emotional self and well-being, and allow that part of yourself to become more vulnerable and know that vulnerability is strength. But you do want to heal certain things psychologically so that you can express that vulnerability. But also it goes vice versa. You know, with you expressing a certain level of vulnerability, it will help heal certain psychological wounds that you may have. Now, this particular new moon, as well as the Mercury retrograde, are going to really be having us looking at our finances, the money that we earn, the money that we save, and the money that we invest in our lives. Now, the reason why it's affecting the money that we earn is because of the opposition from Uranus. Some people may suddenly want to leave their jobs. They may suddenly feel too constricted by the workforce, and they may feel like, you know what, I need to be an entrepreneur. I need to be able to make money for myself. I'm tired of giving another person power and control over the money that I earn. I want to do this for me. And you can start learning new ways to, you know, save your money or to invest your money to make your money work for you, you know, that are going to be very powerful for you to live through, you know. And because of the new moon, you know, the moon is all about how we live our lives and how we comfort and care for ourselves, you know. So, and that's another thing, is that the new moon is going to have us to think of new, deeper ways to really truly care for ourselves. Like, you know, I'm keeping my crystals around me a lot more than I normally do, and I'm allowing myself to just go into my depths and be okay with, you know, the things that I feel, and to express myself on a much deeper level, and all of these kinds of things is very healing, very transforming. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in my live on Facebook is that in order to understand the new moon as well as the Mercury retrograde, since it's also in the sign of Scorpio, is to understand the symbols of Scorpio. Understand that Scorpio is represented by 3 different symbols, and that would be the scorpion. And the scorpion, it really is like the lower nature of Scorpio. It's the backbiting, it's the manipulating, it's the vengeful side. And then Scorpio is also represented by the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's the transforming sign, the resurrecting sign, and the rebirthing side of Scorpio. And then you have the eagle. The eagle is the wise, you know, the strong, wise one. After he has transformed, what has he become? He's become like this sage, this wise one that knows all the deep knowledge of life, you know, the mysteries and the magic and the different things such as that in our reality. So it's really important to know these different things so you can see what part of Scorpio you are developing. You know, are you still on the Scorpion side and are you still on the Scorpion side and still feeling very vengeful, you know, or do you still feel like energies of jealousy? Are you very lustful? Do you want to take power from other people? Do you feel like it's important to be in so much power and control and all of these kinds of things? Or are you transforming and becoming a new thing, a new butterfly, you know? Or are you already past all of those things and you are that wise sage that is sharing the divine wisdom from the different transformations that you've experienced in your life? You're sharing them with others now and helping other people to resurrect themselves and to transform within their realities. So the new moon in Scorpio is going to help us to see that, as well as the Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury retrograde is going to be at an opposition from Uranus. I forget the exact date and I can't pull it up because I'm using my phone. I was going to be using my phone to look at the different charts, but I can't. But nevertheless, at some point, it's going to be making an opposition to the Mercury retrograde is going to be making an opposition to Uranus, and we're going to be seeing certain accidents, and we got to be mindful of that. There could be accidents at work, accidents, you know, around food, and even accidents with dealing with agriculture or without agriculture, and even accidents with cars and, you know, vehicles of transportation that can actually be deadly. And then we will be discussing different accidents that have happened that have resulted in death, you know, the vaccines and just there's been so many different accidental deaths, you know, like even Patrick Day, may he forever rise in paradise, you know, was in a boxing ring and they did not intend for him to die, but he died, you know, with the fist by the hands of his opponent. And this was during the full moon in Aries, which full moon in Aries means to not fight, to let go of the conflict and or any type of a fighting. And it was, you know, a brain trauma. Full moon in Aries. Aries rules the brain, and it was during the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, and Mercury rules the hands, you know, so deadly force, you know, from the hands to the head, and it wiped him out. And I send my light, love, and condolences to his family. Now, another thing, we're going to be thinking about death and how that process happens and what it feels like, thinking about our own existence, you know, and also, you know, there's a major emphasis around the word fragmentation when it comes to different traumas that we experience in this life. And we see that when we experience certain traumas, there is a bit of fragmentation that comes in, and other parts of us actually take the big blow. And then there's another part of us that is like, you know, saved from those experiences. And we experience that during moments where we are transitioning and having death experiences, you know. We have moments of fragmentation, but sometimes these moments of fragmentation allow causes for our shadow selves to be suppressed and repressed, and this can cause like just insidious nature of our shadow selves that could just be very toxic for us in our lives and just the way that we connect and work with other people. So I'm looking over my notes. Oh, I'm at the wrong page of my notes. Excuse me, you guys. I'm a bit razzled because I have so much to do in my personal life. So yes, the new moon is going to be at 4 degrees of Scorpio. So you want to see in your chart where you may have 4 degrees of any of the cardinal signs. And the cardinal signs would be Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. See where you have in your charts 4 degrees of these signs, because this is what's going to be impacted during the Mercury retrograde and during the next couple of weeks, or the next month, I would say, with this new moon in Scorpio. Around the 26th of November, Mars is going to be making a conjunction to the new moon degree, and you will see certain manifestations come about with the intentions that you set with this new moon, or you may start acting upon different things that you may have set with the new moon, or there could even be some type of a conflict around these different things at that particular time. And so also with the Mercury retrograde, you guys, you want to, you know, treat it like a regular Mercury retrograde and make sure you get your car checked out, take care of your phones, know that you could have some really heavy conversations over the phone. You could be hearing some deep traumatic things that have happened, and even the life of your siblings, cousins, and neighbors, there could be some traumatic experiences happening in their life. This is a great time to reach out to people. And it's with it being in a trine to the North Node, and with the North Node being in the sign of Cancer, this is a great time to be vulnerable and express that vulnerability from a very deep space, and truly care for another person, because it's going to allow you to release certain things within you, and it's going to help you to heal and to restore, as well as helping the other person. Okay, so also with the moon making an opposition to Uranus, you can have a sudden change of heart. You know, there could be certain things that you may have felt for another person, and then suddenly you can just shift and change from that and start to experience different things. And also there could be some surprising, shocking things or unexpected things that happen in the life of your friends. And this could be good things. This could be like, oh, they got a lot of money, you know, from this insurance claim. All of a sudden they got 1.5 million or something like that, you know, can actually happen as well. And so let me see. So understand that Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, and it is in the sign right now of you're welcome, beloved. Thanks for your message. It's in the sign of Capricorn. So this means that the energy that we're tapping into with this new moon is helping us to gain a greater sense of power and control over our life, the more responsible that we become. So you do want to become responsible, and you do want to get your work done, but you don't want to overwork yourself because of the North Node being in Cancer, and you want to put your family first and their needs first, and you want to pay attention to those things. But nevertheless, you do want to handle your business, take care of work and all of that. It'll really pan out and go very well for you. Now, a lot of us are getting these messages from the spirit realm about how to take over our lives and how to control our realities even much more. There's so much ancestral energy that we are exposed to at this time that is, really guiding us to rise up to our true leadership. Leadership is about to shift and change for the better, and people are getting the call to even like move to other countries or start their own countries and become leaders of lands and things like that. And you want to walk in that direction. You want to learn the things that it's going to take to do those different things, because it's going to be very powerful in transforming our future world and even our present world, and so the new moon in Scorpio too, it calls for you to tap into your spiritual energy, esoteric science and wisdom, communicating with your ancestors, doing some moon rituals and all of that. It tells you to pay attention to your psychological health and wellness. Also, we can see different things happening with the government, financial things in regards to the government not holding up to its integrity, and, just corruption overall. We're going to see some sudden shakeups and shifts and surprises and shocks and all kind of things. Some things good, some things for us to learn from. I don't want to say bad, just for us to learn from. And what else did I want to share with you guys? With the Mercury retrograde, I don't know if I said this already. I'm dealing with a little bit of memory stuff, but around December the 7th or 8th, give or take a day or so, is when the Mercury retrograde, excuse that horn, they're selling corn outside, is when whatever you're going to be experiencing with Mercury retrograde, especially around the 31st, things are going to be wrapped up and completed around December the 7th or 8th. Definitely take notes on this stuff so you guys can remember. And what else did I want to share? I mean, there's so much, but you want to watch my video on Facebook for those of you who have Facebook, because I spoke for an hour on this. I gave a lot of detailed information, and but I definitely wanted to get on YouTube and share with you guys as well, because I do love my YouTube platform. You guys are very awesome, and I like connecting with you all, and I love when you guys reach out to me and give me ideas or ask me different questions. If you guys want to know how Mercury retrograde is going to affect you personally, I do have a special going on. It's $40 for 20 minutes, and we're just zeroing in on Mercury retrograde and helping you navigate this cycle. And one of the things you want to do is take an objective standpoint to all the crazies that are going on in the world and see how you are affected by these things. And the more that you can take an objective standpoint of life, the more that you will have more power and control over your reality. I want to give a shout out to Teal Swan. She's a very powerful YouTuber. I love her information. I love the way that she delivers her messages. And she's definitely someone that we should be listening to at this time. She has so many videos about emotions and all these other psychological things that could be very helpful with this time that we are in. And I'm all about us making great changes and transforming and evolving. And that's what life is about. So for those of you who are not aware of Teal Swan, I want to share that with you. And her name is Teal, Teal Swan, like the duck. And yeah, listen to her videos, because she has some very healing messages out there on psychology and different things. I do as well. You guys can definitely check out my videos. I have quite a few videos on here that can help you see things from a deeper psychological and spiritual perspective. And yeah, nevertheless, you guys, protect yourselves, protect your mind, protect your heart, but also allow yourself to be vulnerable and realize that there is strength and power within being vulnerable, and that you can gain so much from being vulnerable. Check into your debts, check into your credit, receive the debts that have been owed to you, and pay off your debts. There are different programs, like even self-lender, that really helps you to clean up your credit, and even like there's debt consolidation programs that you may be wanting to get yourself into. Look into investing, stocks and bonds. There's different apps out there that can help you to invest a lot more easier. And this is a time for investing, and a time for thinking about life insurance and what your insurance policies actually look like. Some people may be getting into an accident and realize that they have insurance, but their insurance wasn't good enough and doesn't cover exactly what they may be experiencing. So you may even have full coverage insurance, but you may not know that your full cover insurance does not cover uninsured motorists. So you would want to get that checked. You know what I'm saying? And there's just so much, you guys. Also, if you have a partner where you could be intimate with, this is a good time to be intimate with that partner, to share, give, and exchange energy. But this is also a good time to protect yourself from certain energies as well, because STDs are definitely running rampant, especially with Mercury retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. You want to be mindful of the different energy exchanges at this particular time because of that. And yeah, be mindful of people being jealous of you. And also really just, really dig deep. Really dig deep into who you are, really own your power, really, go deep into your psychological standing and awareness and where you are. It controls so much of your life. And this particular Mercury retrograde in the new moon is helping us to recognize our magnetism and become much more magnetic when we walk in the direction of the North Node in Cancer, because our emotions are what allow us to draw in things into our lives. We talk so much about manifestation. We talk so much about the law of attraction, but we don't realize that emotions are driving forces, and it pulls things into our cosmic reality and our physical and tangible world. So the more that you can look at your psychological stance, which your psychological stance is going to point to different traumas that you may have had that cause you to have and experience different emotions. If you could get those things correct, you can thus then have more power and control over your reality and what you are magnetically drawing into your life. Now, like I stated, there's so much more to share, but I got to go get my little boy from his master man building program, learning what it means to really be a man. I'm so happy for him. I'm so grateful that Brother Grasshop is teaching this class. If you guys don't know Grasshop, definitely check him out on Facebook. He has a program called African Spiritual Warriors, I believe it's called, for men. He's really out here teaching men how to become just better men overall. And also check out Koshana Jones. She is a powerful manifestation consultant, and that's what this stuff is all about. This new moon, about becoming powerful, about and for us on the West Coast too, we're going to have some awesome experiences with our friends, and there could also be some dope celebrations that you could go to, and you can even change your perspective when it comes to different celebrations at this particular time as well, and enjoy yourself. But yeah, you guys, I'm just trying to make sure I'm sharing everything with you all. But like I stated, I am going to be posting some videos this week here on YouTube, and I am going to be going live again, giving some tips on how to deal with the Mercury retrograde. So stay tuned for that. Peace, beloved. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed. And now I got to figure out how to get off. I think I found it. Peace and love. Bye-bye.